What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video, and in this video, we're going to talk about the training camp report from today on Monday, August 26th, and there's some good news, there's some bad news. We're going to start with some of the news that came out yesterday, actually, out of the mouth of Pat Shurmur. He said that officially Daniel Jones will get the start for Week 4 of the preseason against the New England Patriots, which is exciting news for Daniel. It's his first start, albeit in the preseason, which signifies that Eli Manning will be sitting out for that final game, meaning that he only had, I believe, 3 drives throughout preseason to get ready for Week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Eli is a 15-year vet going on year number 16. I'm not too worried about that. I think he'll be okay. Would have liked to have seen him get more time, though, in game situations, being that all these receivers, including Sterling Shepard, are in different roles than they're used to being with Odell Beckham off the team. So you would have liked to see him maybe get a little more chemistry in game, but I'm sure, he's gotten a lot of reps in training camp. So hopefully Eli's ready to go, and hopefully Daniel Jones is excited to get his debut, start against the New England Patriots, which is going to bring us to the injury report. And this is really where the bad news came out today. Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton, a guy we all have very high hopes for, the 5th-round pick out of Auburn. He is a burner. He's got good height, 6'1". He's been out most of the training camp with that hamstring injury. He returned Week 3 and was able to play against the Bengals, in which he made a great catch down the sideline, almost got in for a touchdown, and showed that athletic ability to go up and catch that football. He now has been sidelined yet again today with that same hamstring injury on the same leg. So that's really bad news for him and the Giants alike, as he's trying to compete to make this roster. So hopefully he gets back sooner than later. Shurmur was asked about it. He said all we could do is hope, and he needs his rest. Hamstring injuries are tough to judge because you have to wait until you are fully healed before you can play on it. So hopefully he's able to return sooner than later, but not good news for Slayton as he's trying to make this team. Kenny Ladler, another guy that's trying to make the team, was out also with an injury. He was the undrafted safety that a lot of people thought could play that moneybacker role potentially if he was able to make this roster. Not good news for him. Along with Dickerson, the tight end, also was sidelined with an injury. He is really trying to compete to make this team as well. A lot of competition there at that tight end position. So bad news for those guys here as we get going. George Asafa-Ajay remains sidelined as well with that concussion that he suffered, I believe, like the 3rd day of training camp. He hasn't been back since. So that's really bad news for him. I was really hoping for George to make this team. He'll have to start on the practice squad more than likely. Today's practice, by all accounts, was absolutely phenomenal. They said it was very competitive. It got a little chippy. Both sides of the ball looked good in different drills. And it was one of the best practices they've had in a while in training camp. We'll start with the defense. The defense really played good as a unit. Not so many notes on individuals, but as a unit, they look great. Another guy I wanted to touch on, Alec Ogletree is back in full capacity. He came back yesterday, so he's good to go for the start of the season. We're starting to get healthy outside of this news that we received today, of course, from Darius Slayton. But the defense played great. Eli Manning, under the blitz period, they sent a lot of blitzes in this period. Eli Manning was forced to throw an interception off the arms of Antoine Bethea. He was able to come up with it. Unfortunately for Bethea and the defense, Marcus Golden jumped off sides on the play, so they did not get credit with it. Kyle Lauletta later in the period threw an interception to Ronald Zamort, who came up with an interception later off the arms of Daniel Jones, so he had a really good practice. The defense continued to dominate in the red zone period. There were 18 plays ran in the red zone period where the offense was given the ball just outside of the 10-yard line. They did not give up a touchdown on one of those plays. So the defense played really well today in spurts. The first team offense did, however, play really good in the 2-minute drill. They were given the ball on the 40-yard line, down 4 points with only one timeout and a minute 28 remaining in that drill. Eli Manning was able to hit Evan Ingram on the first play for an absolute bullet all the way down to the 26-yard line. Barkley was able to run it in for the game-winning touchdown to conclude that drill. The defense, however, won the last battle, as reported by Giants.com. On the 5th and final play, the second team's 2-minute drill, Jones was pressured by the rookie Dexter Lawrence, which we love to hear. I have very high hopes for Dexter going into the season. And once again, Zamort jumped the route and came up with an interception off of Daniel Jones, and it was a play in which it would have been a pick six. But Daniel Jones, and this was the highlight play by all accounts, was able to run him down and force a fumble, which is something that Pat Shurmur pointed out after. Even on plays where Daniel Jones is screwing up, he's making plays that make him, that make it a good play. And that's exactly what he did here when Daniel Jones was out. He didn't give up on the play, and that is the instincts of a good football player. He chased him down and forced a fumble. So really good stuff there. Even when he throws a pick, Daniel Jones is doing good things. So you like to hear that. Evan Ingram had a very strong practice by all accounts. He also made a really good catch on the sideline earlier in practice, and he is going to have a big role for this offense. I expect big chunk plays to be given to Evan Ingram throughout the regular season. I think he's going to probably be the biggest playmaker on this offense outside of course, Saquon Barkley. And the other thing that I wanted to touch on was that Jabril Peppers, T.J. Jones, Britton Golden, and Golden Tate were the punt returners during special teams. Golden Tate remains not sideline, but limited practice duties with the yellow jersey as he's still recovering from that concussion. And yeah, that's about it. DeAndre Baker also, wanted to touch on that. DeAndre Baker and Corey Ballentine split first-team reps. So that's interesting to note that Corey Ballentine is really challenging to possibly start opening day. I don't expect it. I think Baker will start, but we'll have to wait and see. Cannot wait for the New England Patriots game. I'll have a preview up for that tomorrow as we get ready for week 4 of the preseason, and then we will turn our sights to week number 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. As always, guys, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you liked what you watched, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.